Hey, hi everyone. How is it going today? Welcome Oscar Dot. I see we have two firsts. We have a cheers, hydrate, and then we have sit-ups and push-ups. So right, starting strong. All right, well, let's get it going. I've got some dinner here to eat after that, and then I guess I'll start off the timer first of all. But yeah, how is it going? Okay, I'll put it on 45 and close the break. Put working on. Yeah. Oh, I put 2 hours up. I don't know if I'm gonna do 2 hours. I might do 2 hours. All right. I don't even know what floor is visible here. Okay, let's see what we do. If we move the chair out to the side and then tilt this like here, I think that's probably the best I can do. Yeah. Okay. All right, push-ups I can do easy. Sit-ups I'm gonna have to get something to sit on. Okay. Okay, that's on camera. Oh, my elbow's hitting the wall. Oh. Okay. What am I gonna put on the ground? I guess I'll put this blanket on the ground. Oh no, the sweater suddenly feels very warm now that I'm exercising. Okay. Very lumpy? Yes, okay. That should be fine. Oh my goodness. Okay, ow. All right. I haven't done sit-ups in forever. I usually do I try to do a push-up, like 5 push-ups every morning. I do 5 to 10, but I just use only 5. But I don't do it every morning. I definitely do not. But I haven't done sit-ups in a while, definitely a month or 2. Oh my goodness. Okay. Glad I have my water and everything already. Camera go maybe about there, something like that. Yeah, seems fine. Did it look easy? It didn't feel easy. Okay, I suppose I should wash my hands since I just literally had them on the floor before I eat food. Okay. All right, and I got my napkin. How's your day going, Oscar Dot? What are you up to? Oh no! How did this happen? My half-eaten pumpkin cookie is on my computer, laptop, trackpad, keyboard, getting crumbs everywhere. Oh no. Hey, Talos Wind, how's it going? How's the Kickstarter doing today? I saw it was doing really well yesterday. Feel free to post a link. Everyone go check out Talos Wind and their Kickstarter. Also, everyone go check out my Kickstarter, which just opened. It had a very low goal, so it's hit its $100 threshold. So if you do order anything, you will definitely get it. and there's a book on it, and then there's going to be a couple like bonus things, add-ons coming out on it for it too. So I'll post a link here. Let me see if I got it somewhere. There we go. But yes, it went live and it's doing great. So go check it out, and go check out the gaming Kickstarter for Talismans as well. Okay. Oh, it's not loading, but I will post a link eventually. You shall check it. It's growing slowly. Excellent. Yeah, I saw you had like at least one really big jump. Did you have a I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, I guess like someone with a big social media following post about it or talk about it or something? Oh, my computer's slow. Get a couple of influencers talk about it and a few more who said they will. That's excellent, hey? Getting it all lined up. That's phenomenal. Does anyone else find the web version of the Kickstarter website completely different than the mobile version? Like on the mobile version, I usually heart things to save them, but then I can never find those on the web version. Like I can never find the option to heart a project, and I can never find those projects. Well, like I can find them eventually, but it takes me forever, and it's like, why are these two completely different systems? It's so silly. Oh, I'm getting hungry and I'm forgetting that I have food right in front of me. Thank you. I'm pleased I got it all operational. There's a couple, like I said, there's more things I want to add. I want to add some add-ons. I want to add some more stretch goals and other stuff, because obviously I would like it to actually, you know, have real purchasers. So we're gonna keep on making it bigger and better, and hopefully more people will be attracted. So I'm excited for that. Although today was such a weird day. I have to remember on Methylphenidate compared to Dexedrine. If I have a really good day one day, the next day is more likely to be a bad day. And so I had a really good day yesterday and today was not a good day. And it's so frustrating because on Dexedrine, you can have like a streak of really good days, like right in a row. And if you're having a good day, it's more likely the next day will be good too. And it's just not the same with methylphenidate. So it's like, God damn, I have to remember that. But yesterday was the important day, so that was good. What's in the sandwich? It is scrambled eggs, cheese, a little bit of greens, and yeah, just some spices and seasonings and mayonnaise and stuff. Oh my god, yeah, the spam messages are so frustrating. I feel like it's worse than it was last time. I feel like last time I did this, they like hit me at the end of my campaign, but not near the beginning. And then this time it was just nuts. Oh, I don't even respond to them. I just archive them if they're garbage. And sometimes they trick you because they'll ask like a real question at first. And so like you answer their question and then it's like, oh, we should talk more about promotion. It's like, go away, stop wasting my time. Had 35,000 coins and no idea what to do with them. I don't know what my rewards are doing right now. Why does it think these are all new? They're not new. Put a bow on it is new. Yeah, I don't have a lot of good redeems right now. I had some good ones before. If anyone has suggestions for point redeems, let me know. Always use some new ones and switch it up around here. They try to distract you or make you have self-doubt. Yeah, like it's like, especially when the campaign is so new, it's like, gonna let it play out and see how it goes first, thanks. Like, it made sense last time because I got all those messages near the end of my campaign and it like made sense because it was like, okay, yeah, like that's when people might want to need help. But it's like when you just spam at the beginning of a campaign, it just seems so weird and useless. How many push-ups are we allowed to redeem? Do I have a timer on that? I feel like it stops you if you try to redeem them immediately after each other, but I think it might only be like a 10-minute timer. Yeah, we're wondering why more people aren't backing your project. It's like, they are. That's a spam message. Yeah, like you hit 25% on day one. Exactly. It's just spam. Don't let them get to you. One of the messages sent to me was like, we see you've hit a lull over the past week. It's like, I've been open for 1 day. Yeah, they have a copy pasta book and just work on a commission basis. Exactly. They only make money if they get you, so they might as well try everyone. But it sucks. Haha, there's a 1 hour cooldown on push-ups. Is it on push-ups and sit-ups? Was I smart enough to do that? Yeah, there's a 1 hour cooldown on those. I had some thought setting those ones up. Put a bow on it. I do have bows. I will go grab one. I do have multiple bows. I don't think I put a timer on that one either. I might have put a max redeems on it because I only have so many bows. Bows. I don't have any white bows. That's so sad. I don't know why I don't have white bows. I think I don't buy any because I assume that I have white bows. Because that's like a thing I should have, obviously, and then I don't, and it's like, what? What's wrong with my life? What am I doing that I don't have any white bows? That's just something I should have. I would expect to have. That looks terrible. I could do better than that. Oh no, it caught my hair though. Caught my hair. I hated these clips when I was a kid because they would always tear at my hair and I didn't know how to do them better so that that didn't happen at that age. Now I know a little bit better. But. That's a bit better. All right, well, we'll leave it there. A costume sneak peek might drive interaction. Oh, I need to write a new email. I suppose that's what AI is for. All right, please write a fun email about how our Kickstarter has hit its goal, has hit its first goal, and is going to be revealing stretch goals and add-ons in the days to come. All right, write a fun email I love AI. Let's hit its first goal. It's going to be revealing, and we're going to be revealing new stretch and add-ons in the days to come. So honestly, I should have revealed one today, but like I said, it was not a good day. So the fact that I'm even getting this email done is kind of like, oof, that's enough for me. I need more emails. I need more subject lines. Please write some. Do first. Okay. Okay, recipients all. Personal. Hey Itanshi, how's it going today? Welcome in. We're writing emails again. Ooh. The earbuds are working. You're enjoying the 70-degree Fahrenheit days? You should probably sit outside. It's 22 degrees. Oh, that's really nice. Magic the Gathering made a Kool-Aid Man card. That's amazing. When attacks, destroy target wall. I love that. I love that. That's perfect. Is that a real card or like a fan card? That's so fun. Brilliant. Whoa. Oh, I hate it when coasters get stuck to your glass. It always scares me. Okay, that's an email. I think I can send that. I need to get rid of that. Although I should do a live stream event this weekend. Send. Oh yeah. I feel like the card should say you must say this in order to use it. Or the attack doesn't work. Okay, what else do I need to do today and what else do I want to do today? I want to do a lot of stuff, but I feel like I'm not going to, so what do I need to do today? I did the email, that was the most important. I should probably post a TikTok. Chocolate chip cookies from 1 to 150. Yeah, like, it's really funny because stores are really good about raising prices on things that are low value. So like, yeah, it's only 50 cents, but like 50 cents is a 50% price increase. Like that's actually a huge percentage-wise increase. It all happens so easily sometimes. Yeah, you used to buy 2. Yeah, soon you'll only get 1 for the same price. Oh good, the email went through? You have to be on your own mailing list, otherwise how do you know? Shrinkflation as well? Yep, 100%. Oh, I'm so behind in my Dracula Daily emails. I think I'm like 2 or 3 months behind. I feel like I was still reading them in July. So I'm probably August and September behind. No, October. I think I read some of the August ones, so I'm probably just September and October. It feels like a lot longer. You don't know why. They're blaming eggs, but you thought that resolved. White Castle breakfast sandwiches are still fairly priced. 2 for under 5. It's nice when some stuff stays decent. Hmm, 6 different approaches to how languages are learned. Patsy Lightblown and Nina Spada's How Languages Are Learned book. Oh, this is interesting. Students of language appear to learn certain grammatical patterns in a fixed order, regardless of the order they are taught. That's interesting and makes total sense. I used to walk there at 4:30, but sunrise is 7 now. I like the summers when it's bright all day for so long. Over-drilling particular language patterns can actually make people make more mistakes in other sentences. Okay, Stephen Krashen's theory is that you need comprehensible input. You need to listen to and read language for meaning, not to analyze the syntax. I'm 100% in support of that. I don't think learning the grammar by book is helpful. I think learning how a sentence sounds and what it means is helpful, and then you just understand the grammar naturally. Like, you don't need to learn it. It will just, you will know the sentence sounds right once you know how to say the sentence enough. Same with like verb conjugation and stuff. Eventually you just realize, oh, that's not how that sounds. When you use this verb, it should be conjugated like this. Like, you just start to know what's right instead of learning it by a book. Funny thing, Rob Halford in his new duet video with Doro has him looking like Terry Pratchett. Random. Tea acquired. I was thinking about making tea earlier and then I didn't, and now I'm like, I'd have to make a decaf tea, and I don't know. I do have some decaf teas. I could make a decaf tea. No, I don't want to get up. Maybe once I'm done my sandwich, I'll make some tea. Ah, that's right, the singer of Judas Priest. Being like Terry Pratchett. Interesting. Oh, one study found that after 2 years of an input-based class where the teaching was based around reading and listening, students performed as well or better than those in a traditional class, including measures of speaking, even though that wasn't part of the class. Which makes sense. If you're hearing it, you know how to speak it. Got his retirement white beard going. There we go. Some research on French immersion students who do have large amounts of language input found that they can reach native comprehension, but they still make mistakes in grammar while speaking, despite years of immersion. Which also checks out, right? Like, because you see that with immigrants all the time, where like they understand what you're saying and they know how to respond to you, but there's weird grammar errors that persist. And I think that's the point when, yeah, you want to take a class or have a really diligent friend who's going to correct you. Because once you can be understood, people stop correcting you. So that's where class or someone who's willing to say, hey, actually it's this, is important. Okay, so the opposite theory is the talking theory is more important. That interactions are crucial. And that like natural interaction with another human is helpful instead of an audio recording or a book, because it can be adjusted and has immediate feedback. Yeah, but that's really hard to find. Like, it's expensive or it's difficult to acquire. So plus, yeah, there's other ways. But yes, I agree. Talking to people is the most important. Yeah, and conversation partners typically don't correct mistakes when their meaning is understood. What I just said. Thank you, article. French immersion programs have been shown to be successful when the language is used as a medium of instruction for other subjects. So it's just kind of integrated into something else they're doing, which makes total sense. Okay, so one study showed or indicated that vocabulary can be taught at any point, but certain verbs and verb orders proceed on a fixed sequence. Oh, you posted in music? Perfect, I'll check it out. Promotion, especially self-promotion, is very hard to do. Agreed, especially as a creator. You always feel like you're tooting your own horn even when saying, this is what others have said. Yeah. But I mean, that's where it comes down to like having integrity, right? If you honestly think this is a good thing, then yeah, like go for it. Like tell people about it because you think it's great. Because you know, think it does what you say it does. We have all this like cultural flack around self-promotion, but it kind of comes from that place of people who self-promote things that aren't like dishonestly, right? And so then everyone thinks any self-promotion is dishonest, and it's like, if it's real, it's just this thing that you want to talk about. Yeah, it's just real. Yeah, that was an interesting article. I went through my email. What do I do next? I guess it's break next. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do break next, I suppose. Yo. Okay, I've got a couple bites left of my sandwich and I've got a couple bites left of my cookie. So at some point I need to finish these things. Oh, I should run an ad because I haven't done that yet. I'll do that now. Oh, I was super excited. I found a new print-on-demand service. What's it called? And I'm totally going to use it because it has a bunch of products that are not available on Redbubble. And I was very, very excited about it. Where is it? Where did it go? Contrado.com. So it's one of those things where you can like upload your designs and then people can shop them and buy them on different products. But it has a bunch of products that are completely different than Redbubble. So it has some things like, what does it have? It was really cool. It had like some plates and cups and like handbags that actually weren't ugly, and just some interesting things. Like it had like scarves, and it had notebooks with fabric covers, like printed fabric covers, and like really cool candle holders, and just some interesting things. So I'm definitely going to start using that website because I thought it was pretty neat, and I was pleased with that. And like it didn't overlap too much because it's not like it would be a waste of time, because like Redbubble kind of has completely different stuff than them, because Redbubble is super focused on like prints, art prints, and posters and canvases and things like that. And these guys were more interested in weird materials to print on. So I was pleased to have found them, and I'm gonna go through that and upload some stuff onto that website at some point. At some point. But I'd love to like put out like a cute little espresso set, or a cute little, I don't know, like plate set, or just like random housewares and things. It just seemed cool. Oh, see, I'm very tired, which is stupid because I got up late and I feel like I haven't worked hard all day. I got some stuff done, but it wasn't a really active day. I have to catch up on Our Flag Means Death. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, and I feel like there's some spoilers floating around because there's 7 episodes out in total now. And I feel like I need to watch those 4 episodes. At least one of them. I should watch one of them tonight. Yeah. The art looks like it would go on the hem of a white dress in a sort of asymmetrical style going up the side of the sundress. Yeah, I would love to be able to do that kind of stuff, right? Like, I would love to be producing things where, like, yeah, I can just put prints up a dress, right? The biggest problem is that the companies that do print on demand clothing, generally the clothing isn't very good or very nice or very stylish or very well cut. It's just, you know, even if they have a good material, the pattern of the piece, it's not going to fit the body very well, which sucks. So it's kind of that. I actually don't mind the cute little Redbubble has a pencil skirt that actually, it's short, but it looked cute on the images, and you can get a cute pencil skirt out of Redbubble. I haven't seen it in person, but the images online look cute. But yeah, a lot of the dresses or shirts or stuff that you can print on, just I need to be able to make my own clothing first, and then it will work lovely. But until then, if I can print on a scarf, if I can print on a handbag, if I can print on a plate, if I can print on that kind of stuff, I would like to be doing that. Yeah, and I've done that before too. There's a couple companies that do print-on-demand fabric. So you can literally order like as much fabric as you want with a print on it, like your own custom print. It's obviously more expensive than regular fabric, but you can get good quality and you can get good quality prints. So those are nice too. But going forward into production, it usually makes more sense to be working with a factory who is designed for commercial purchasing. To do custom prints. You know, if you're going to be requiring multiple bolts of this thing, at that point you can just pay an actual print factory to make you a custom print run. So that's the end goal, 100% custom prints. And I mean, end goal I say as the fact that I've already made things with custom print fabric before. But yeah, the cost to a consumer would be too high doing it that way. Although probably not if you actually talk to the company. If you're like, hey, I need this many bolts of this fabric, how, you know, what deal can you give me? Work out deals with anyone. But yeah, I love all that stuff. I think it's so cool. Like, there's so many neat things you can do with patterns. Like, I just was painting an olive watercolor on stream the other day. Was that on stream? I think it was, yes. Oh my god, my brain's gone. Anyways, but that's one of those things where it's like, it's a non-traditional floral, right? Like, olives aren't even flowers. But like, it'd be considered like a botanical, like a floral print. And so it's like, that would be such a great fall floral because olives are blooming in the fall, or like ripe in the fall. And, you know, there's no like, it's all greens and like shades of green, so it would work really nicely as a fall print without being too spring and summery and flowery. And it's like, this is a great example of a non-traditional floral that I love, this kind of prints where it's like, it's interesting, and you don't see a lot of clothing with an olive print. You see a lot of clothing with flowers, and it's like, I like doing that kind of thing where it's just a little bit different. Yeah, it comes down to shipping, and that's where a partnership with a secondary company or designer could help. So you can both combo your shipping and have less overhead. Right? If you can get enough orders, then you're fine. Yeah, in clothing design, it's nuts because there's so many stages. So there's things like getting the fabric, printing the fabric, getting the fabric to the factory, getting all the other stuff to the factory, getting the clothes from the factory to the warehouse, getting the clothes from the warehouse to the retailer, getting the clothes from the warehouse to you, to the retailer, like to the wholesaler. Oh, it's just nuts how many times things have to be moved, and half the time you're doing international lines. So like if you order your fabric from one company and then you get it manufactured in another country, and then you get it shipped to your country, and then you get it shipped to a third country for the consumer, like it's just, you have all these weird customs things that start happening too, and like duties and taxes and weird fees and all. It just like gets really nuts really fast, and you can be like, oh, this is a great price for my fabric and factory quote, and then by the end of it, after you paid for all these shippings and weird like unexpected fees, you're like, oh, I'm losing money now. So it's you have to be super fucking careful. It's crazy. And that's why a lot of fashion startups go out of business. So it's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't too, because people are like, oh, if I manufacture locally, it's super expensive, but people like that. Oh, but it's too expensive. I'll manufacture overseas. Then they manufacture overseas and they're like, this is cheaper. It's half the time, if they're not careful, it's not cheaper. If you do it right, it is. But again, if your minimums are too low, it might not even be cheaper. Sometimes it is cheaper to do it locally if you're, you know, depending on where locally is. Like for instance, locally in Europe, you can find like Portugal or kind of Eastern Europe countries that are local but cheaper than, for instance, manufacturing in you know, a more westernized country, I guess, more prosperous country. But then yeah, it's like, well, if you take everything into account, which one actually is better? And it's so hard to decide. And then you get stuck in decision fatigue and choice paralysis, and you don't make any decisions, and then it's been 3 years and you still don't have a fashion label. Ha! Say what? And you hear all the horror stories about people getting screwed over or taken advantage of, or just like mistakes happen, and you're like, ah. A lot of it is going to automation and factories. What do you mean? A lot of what is going to automation and factories? But yeah, you need to grow your support network so that's not all on you. If you have any advice for doing that, I would love to hear it, because I'm bad at that. I've been trying. I've been getting barely anywhere. I did meet some people when I was living in Toronto, but then COVID hit, and then nothing was happening at all in that industry. And then I've, you know, talked to some people online, but I have no idea how to turn an online interaction into an actual, like, relationship or friendship or network connection or anything like that. Like, just nothing. Without paying someone. But yeah, support network is something I am terrible at. I am not in any way equipped to do that successfully or easily. Textile production. A lot of that is going to automation and factories. I mean, I think textile production has been in automation and factories primarily for a long time at this point. Like even with custom prints and stuff. Again, it was, the barrier to entry was much higher before, because if you wanted a custom print, you had to be a manufacturer who could support buying multiple bolts of a custom print. But yeah, it was always automation in factories. Unless you were like hand painting or hand printing something. Yeah, generally we get paralyzed in our own projects. Time trades let us help others and get help in return when struggling. That's an interesting idea. Have you done that successfully in the past? I would love to hear how you started, how you got that set up, how you approached people about the idea. Because I always like, you know, I love that advice, like help others to help yourself. Like, you know, like be willing to give out into the community, and what goes around comes around. Like, you know, the more you put like your help and your, you know, presence into the community, the more like you're gonna learn and grow and meet people. So I'm totally on board for that. I just have no idea how to go about setting it up. Have you heard about ETIAS, the European Travel Information Authorization System? It has been talked about coming into effect and has been held back. But in 2025, people from countries like Canada and the US will need an ETIAS to, enter Europe. It is to add security for the Eurozone, and an added expense for the traveler who wants to go to Europe. Oh, fun. I've not heard about that. So basically like an extra like travel visa that, you know, Americans and Canadians will need to enter Europe when it's been free passage so far, at least for vacationers. For you, it generally starts with putting yourself out there, offering the skills you have to others, and being open with your own struggles. I feel like I'm doing that wrong. I feel like I'm trying to do that, like put myself out there and try to help people and try to offer things, but nothing ever goes anywhere. So I'm clearly doing something wrong. So like, I don't even know what I'm doing or not doing. But yeah, like I feel like I try to talk to people about like, hey, like, why don't we work on this together? Or like, you know, like I could help you with this, or like, I need help with this. Like, does anyone have advice on this? Or like, who wants to, you know, do this kind of thing? But I don't know, it never goes anywhere. So I feel like I'm not doing it right. Or like if people ask questions and being like, oh yeah, I've done that before. You know, this is how you do it. Like I could help you. And then it, you know, I don't know how to get it to that next stage, I guess. I think it goes the other way too, because I feel like I will like talk about a struggle I'm having and people will like offer to help and they'll be like, oh, great, thank you. And then I don't know how to actually take them up on that offer. And so then it never goes anywhere either. And so it's like, oh, I needed help with this. And someone even offered to help me with it. And I still haven't done it yet because I don't, like, nothing ever happened and I don't know how to be like, what that next stage is. So I think it goes both directions. And I have no idea how to do it in either direction. How to help people or how to receive help. So anyways, that's my current struggle. All right, I'm going to put the mic on mute and I'll be back in 45, but I will keep reading the chat and typing away.
Yo.
Alright, it's a break time. Alright, how's everyone doing? We got lots of people hanging out. Today we got Zirconis, we got Talos Wind. Let's flip over this timer. There we go. All the coolest people. Put it on break. There we are. Yeah, like if you were local, don't buy a fancy camera, just meet up and schedule a shoot. If you know, when you have someone who's willing to help. Same kind of deal with what you can offer comfortably. And the timer doubled as a finish your food before typing clock. Love it. I also feel like I will try to offer things that never get picked up, right? Like where the other person never actually goes for it. And so I don't know how to tailor that to make it, to figure out more what people actually are looking for or need. And like the obvious answer is ask them, but like that's clearly not working for me. Why is asking them not working? Because it never goes anywhere. So I feel like it feels like it's working at first, but then nothing ever happens, or like they just don't actually, like it never goes anywhere. Even if they're like, oh yeah, I do need help with that. Are those kind of people collecting in your Discord that you want help from? No, not really. I guess I'm also not good at like finding that type of specific community. Like I feel like I just end up collecting lots of people who are like very interesting but also very random kind of thing, right? Like doing different things. But like I've been on like fashion message boards and like business groups and things like that. And so I guess even when I'm in those groups, I still can't get it to go anywhere in either direction. Helping or being helped. I think setting up a time is gonna help. I think understanding that it's my responsibility to set that up, to push that timing issue, regardless of who it is that needs help or wants help. And also remembering to offer things that even though I think they could do this for themselves, they might still want someone else to do it for them. I think that's super something I had not really considered, and it makes perfect sense. Like there's tons of stuff that people could do and might even be great at, but maybe they don't have time for that right now. Because I have tons of stuff like that for me where I would rather not be doing it. The intent is to run your own business. Yes, it is. Very much so. Yeah, it's your responsibility until you delegate it to someone else. I think the problem in my head is making something that's so amorphous feel like an actual, like, distinct thing. Because it's not like I don't even feel like it. Obviously, like, if I want to connect with someone, that's something I'm trying to do. But it just feels very amorphous. So I guess the idea is to try to really, like, narrow it. And I don't know if narrow it down is the right phrase, but, like, really try to consolidate it into my head into, like, hey, this is a thing. This is a specific task you are doing. Before it even is a specific task. Make a simple list of tasks you love, like, indifferent, dislike, and dread. Any practical experience working in your field? No client base. In the field of fashion? No, because I did science for most of my life. I have practical experience in design and like the actual clothing part of the field, just not in the manufacturing or the business part of it. My family's all in small local businesses, and I'm trying to get into large international manufacturing, and they do not overlap very much. Or at least the amount of overlap I have exhausted, and now I'm at the part where I have no overlap. Because obviously there is some. Probably more than I would credit because I'm in it. I'm sure someone who didn't have that would be like, oh yeah, actually there's a lot there that you are benefiting from. Have I met like-minded people who have the same goals as me? I have, yes. I also struggle to connect with them, but I have met some. Yes, especially when I was like in specific groups online or in Toronto, meeting people at events and things. What you like and love is what you should offer to others as tradable resources, and try to secure the work that you dread first. Ever considered starting a business with a like-minded partner? I have. In fact, I've definitely talked to people about doing this. I have not had anyone who is interested in doing it. When you say you struggle to connect, can you articulate that struggle? So I don't struggle to, like, meet people, although I'm not great at that either, but I struggle to get beyond, like, the acquaintances stage, especially if it's someone who's like, I feel like they maybe like do know something I don't know, or do have like skills or experience or something that I don't have. I feel like I don't know how to build a real connection instead of just like that surface level we've met each other connection. A connection where both sides are able and willing to help each other, and or just like have more of a like regular relationship, I guess. In terms of time, communication, events, you know, anything. Work. No, I've met people who have the same goals. I haven't met anyone who has the goal of starting a business with someone else, I guess. Or with me, I guess. But no, I don't think I've even met someone who has been like actively looking for or interested in a partner or anything like that. Because most people kind of have their own thing going on. So like in this industry, like you'll meet people who like have their own, you know, even if it's a part of the skill that I don't have. So in, for instance, like a pattern maker, I'd meet, you know, a pattern maker who has their own pattern making business or who works as a pattern maker for someone else. And so it's not like they're in the right place to be looking to start something new, if that makes sense. You can't be the only person out there looking for a partnership. True. I guess I'm not super actively looking for a partnership because there are so many downsides to a partnership with the wrong person. Like any sort of business partnership, in terms of a formal business partnership, is very risky with someone who you maybe don't know very well. You think the problem is getting to that discussion point of looking at building a collaborative work? Trepidation? Yeah, kind of that fear and like apprehension. And a lot of people work for a company, meet like-minded people, and then go off to make their own companies later. Is working for a company a difficult thing in your field? Yes. Working for a company with working for a fashion company with a degree in microbiology is a very difficult thing in this field. Yeah. I have not. Obviously, I haven't sent off like a bunch of resumes or anything, but I haven't had any luck in kind of like even talking to people who would be like, oh yeah, like you should apply for this. You know what I mean? Those kind of conversations. Or you should talk to this person, they're hiring, or those kind of conversations. Feels like if someone had your aspirations and met with the same energy, you'd be talking each other's ears off. Yeah, definitely. Then it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's like, so it's like you can talk and chat about all this interesting stuff, but then that's it. Then what happens after that? I don't know. That's where I'm bad at this. I don't naturally know what to do next, and I'm trying to learn. But it's also one of those things where it's like, yes, would having HUD worked at a fashion company be a benefit? Yes, but also, like, it's a business. Like, it's a business. I don't need to have been in the same field to succeed in the business. There's tons of people who break into any field of business without experience in that field. So, like, I don't feel like it's a necessity. I just feel like it's... And I don't feel like that's even what's holding me back. I feel like what's holding me back is the fact that I can't make those connections in any field. So it's not like I'm struggling to make connections in the fashion field or the manufacturing or business field where I could make those connections in the science field. I'm terrible at it in science too. So like it's not really so much of a targeting issue as it is I'm sure it's that too, as it is a just completely lacking the skills and knowledge of how to do this. Yeah, working in the business affords you connections. Exactly. Except I'm bad at making connections in any business field. In any field at all. Yeah, you're trying to learn and you aren't going to proceed without putting in that time. So that's an excellent thing to be doing. So that's one thing I have done. I have put in the time to learn things. I know a lot about design. I know a lot about pattern making. I know a lot about industrial pattern making. I know a lot about industrial factories. I know a lot about manufacturing. I know a lot about import, customs, shipping, trade. I know a lot about all of this stuff because I've actively really tried to learn it, and I've taken a couple courses and things. So like the technical knowledge is not something I'm completely lacking. It's the application of that knowledge where it's not really the kind of thing you can even learn from a course. Yeah, time to learn a lot about connections. That's what I've been trying to do for like the past 10 years, and I am so fucking bad at it. I've gotten better than I was 10 years ago and 20 years ago, but like, oh my God. Yeah, work smarter, not harder. That only helps if you know how to work smarter. Otherwise, you just keep doing it. Because what else are you gonna do? Work nothing? That was like my life with ADD. It's like, work smarter, not harder. It's like, that's great. If all you know how to do is like slam your head against the wall, you're gonna do that because you got no other options. And yeah, do you get a headache and injured after, 20 minutes of that and you have to stop? Yes, you do. But what are you gonna do? Wait for your head to heal and then do it again? Because you can't see any other way through the wall. I'm trying. But it's interesting. Yeah, you can be wasting the efforts because you haven't yet learned to make that effort productive, and then it's time to re-examine the problem. Yes, agreed. That is exactly what I'm trying to do. So evaluating whether an approach is working and then trying a new approach is something I do constantly. I just haven't found one. And I've improved, like I said, like I found ways that work better than ways I used to use, and I found like ideas and information and resources and like tips and all that kind of stuff. So I found things that work better, and I do evaluate and try to improve. I don't just keep literally doing the exact same thing over and over again. But yeah, it's just trying to figure out what to try next when you've tried all the easy advice out there. So like that's why today's discussion was really helpful for me, because it's like, oh well, you need to be building like, have you tried building like a community and a network and people who can help you with things? And I'm like, yes, I have. Here's where I got stuck. And so then it's like, oh, okay, so try this next time. And I'm like, okay, I will try that next time. Well, I've tried the hard ones too. I guess easy is the wrong word. The easy to find approaches. And so I've tried a bunch of the hard to find approaches too. But now I'm looking for even more harder to find approaches that I have not yet tried. Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the problems too, is like finding clarity on where you got stuck is like much harder than it sounds. Because sometimes all you know is that like you're still stuck and you're like, I tried the thing, I have no idea why it didn't work. And it's like, okay, let's really look at this, let's really break it down And then sometimes you need someone else to help you break that down too, right? Because you're too close to the problem. And so you're like trying to figure it out, but you need someone else to be like, have you tried this? oh, I guess I could try that. That makes sense. But on you for continuing the process of looking for a solution. Yeah, some help and outside perspective is useful. Yes, and so once again, this is this catch-22 for me, because one of the things I need help with is asking for help from people. So it's like, I can't get help. Well, have you tried asking for help with that? Nah! Yeah, especially if you fail to get results. The effort is there, but perhaps the aim is off. Exactly, and it's like, well, how do I fix the aim? I'm pointing at the target. And then you need someone who's like, oh, well, actually, try this. And it's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, and the internet is full of material and courses for learning on how to get help. Yes, that's the kind of stuff I've very much been diving into and have been trying to learn from. So like I said, I've tried all the easy to find approaches out there. I've found them all, I've read them all. So now I'm looking for things I haven't found yet. Haven't tried yet. Yeah, at least you can identify where you're hitting a roadblock and you have some focus on the issues. The problem is there's lots of potential things where the roadblock might be, and it's hard to narrow down like what's the most important roadblock. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like the domino effect thing where it's like, well, you can like fix all of these little problems, but really it's just this one big problem that's actually holding things up. And if you waste all your time on these little problems, you could just fix this one big one and none of those would matter anymore. They'd fall down. But it's like if you don't know which one to choose, it takes forever because you're just wandering around kicking over dominoes that aren't easy to kick over. And then you hit the big one and you're like, oh, well, I should have done that one first. And then you learn and you don't do it again. If the desire is to run a business, how much time and effort do you put into looking at how others who have achieved your goal achieved theirs? Quite a bit. Like I said, I do try to read a lot of like books and courses and like biographies and things like that from people who are successful and successful in the field. Personal connections, that's where I'm struggling. I have tried to reach out and I have had zero luck in getting anywhere close to something that might be called like a mentorship, like, or a mentor. So I'm not even close to that. I'm trying to get to the level of like literally past acquaintances, let alone a mentor. Not giving up, definitely not giving up. Struggling to know what to try next, but I like the stuff I've been learning today. I think there's some definite stuff to try next here. Lots of good discussion with you guys. How many people are in your life who've achieved your goals? 0. I have some people in my life who, like I said, are good at business. Most of them are small local businesses. So I kind of have learned what I could from them. I don't have anyone in my life who's in, like, I don't have anyone in my life who's close to me who's in fashion. I don't have anyone in my life who's close to me who's in, like, larger businesses or manufacturing or anything like sales or trade or international or anything like that. And I don't know how to get them into my life. If you're passionate about the goal, you're at least on the right path to success. Well, I hope so. Keep trying. You always used to think of it like, if you had to do something 40 times or 100 times or 500 times to taste success, would you? And most people say, well, yeah, I'd go through all that. But the thing is, we don't know how many tries it will take. We just know it will take the trying. Yes, agreed. Fashion is hard. You need models, in your opinion, more than fashion experts? Yeah, like if you're talking about just kind of getting those photos, kind of getting the fits and photos and stuff, that kind of stuff, videos. That one, models I feel like are actually, at least cheap models, like the kind of models who will help you for free are actually, that's something I would feel relatively confident in acquiring. I feel like I could get free or cheap models pretty easily. Everything else. It reminds you of a guy you went to university with who you think did a good 70 interviews to find the right job. Now he's married and happily doing what he hoped to be doing, but it took a lot of tries. Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of like not giving up. Like keep trying until you find what you want. Like keep going and just keep doing the next one. So I'm a huge supporter, I don't know, in agreement with that, definitely. I'm not at the giving up stage, but I've been at the frustration stage for my whole life, I guess. Like I said, like I struggle a lot with this sort of stuff, anything to do with social interactions. So it gets sad and it gets frustrating, but I keep trying and I do get better. I'm way better than, like I said, I'm way better than I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And then I do try to share that knowledge with others, which is why so many of these streams end up with me just like dishing out a stream of advice on what I've done and what not to do and what happens if you try X, Y, and Z and why I do Z now. Yeah, you're a huge proponent of if it isn't working, figure out why to the best of your ability and tailor a better approach and then keep at it. Exactly, right? You know, if something's not working, try to find the problem, try to pinpoint the problem, and then try to change something. Yeah, frustration isn't fun, but sometimes necessary to get where you're going. Exactly, right? Nothing good comes easy. Nothing, you know, all those big worthwhile things don't happen easily, otherwise everyone would have them. In before you transition into a life coach. Oh my god, right? Can you imagine? Yeah, sometimes good things come easy, right? Sometimes things just work. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes things just click, serendipity. And sometimes they do not. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes we think we know what we want and where we're going, but we also do not. I'm also open to that too, right? Like I'm open to things changing. I'm open to new goals. I'm open to different ideas or things shifting. But for me, it's one of those things where it's like so many people in my life, are you sure you want to do this? Like, do you really want to do this? What if you did X, Y, and Z? And it's like, I'm going to feel really regretful if I don't at least try until I hit a point where it's not working anymore or where there's something better comes along, where a better goal comes along. But like, I'm not going to give up just because it's hard. But I'm like, and it's like, I'm willing to accept that maybe things will go in a completely different direction I'm not expecting. Until that happens, I'm going to keep pursuing the thing I'm pursuing. Yeah, you may be heading into something you cannot even fathom with a full head of steam. And when opportunity presents itself. Yeah, anyone who gives you doubt is not supporting. Yeah, except it's all my family. And it's not like they're not supportive. It's just, it's not a goal they understand or would want for themselves. So like, they're super like supportive and happy and kind and caring and all of those good things. They just don't get it. So they're like, really? Why do you want to do this? This seems like a lot of work. It's like, yes, that's kind of part of the whole deal. Yeah, and sometimes the journey of do you really want to do this leads you to I finally found where I want to be. Right? Yeah, sometimes people get too fixated on the end goal and forget about the journey. Yeah, no, I definitely keep in mind the fact that a lot of times people end up somewhere they weren't expecting, but that's where they end up happy. So I'm definitely on board for that. But at this point, I haven't found anything that makes me feel happier than pursuing this goal does. Yeah, and our own anxiety can be our worst enemy. Yeah, and every day is a step towards something. Personal question. Are you able to afford living and your lifestyle while you are in pursuit of your goal? So one of the biggest problems is that the answer to that question for the last 5 years was like an emphatic yes. But my job is a fucking goddamn disaster and I need a new job. So like there's like this whole like extra struggle and like conflict and anxiety right now because I really need a different job. And or I need like something I'm selling to actually make some goddamn money, like in some way, like something has to be different because this job is not good anymore. And it's like this whole extra bonus where it's like, really, I would have much preferred to spend the last 6 months spending my mental energy on my business. I've spent the last 6 months spending my mental energy on like trying to figure out what I'm doing to make money in the meantime, and it's just really frustrating because I thought I had that figured out and then my stupid job got awful, and so that's fun. Yeah, getting pulled two ways, right? But I mean, one of the problems is that even when I was pretty stable on that, it was like I still couldn't get to the next stage. The fire hall was very much that for you. You can't leave it because you love it, but it's been detrimental to your time in business. That's a good reason though, right? Because if it's something you actually care about, then at least like you know what you're doing. You know why you're sacrificing. When you were stable, were you just allowing yourself to get too comfortable in that state? Possibly the opposite of that. It was more like that kind of like, it was definitely not too comfortable, let's put it that way. It was more like I need to be doing the next thing and I would keep trying things. But like some combination of not being able to see like exactly what to do next and not being able to like really connect with someone who might be able to help and not being able to like make the commitment to like push forward or like make a choice where I'm like, I don't know if I'm making the right choice. And then all that stuff about like, you know, you just have to dive in, you just have to try, and kind of getting over that kind of anxiety. Like where there is a risk, like where it's like, oh, well, this is a lot of money, or this is like a big commitment, or this is like, you know, someone else's, you know, business on the line if you're working with someone else and all that kind of commitment. So those kind of scary choices. You like helping people and it gives you a sense of purpose when other things are going bad. Yeah, that's important. That's really good. I think a lot of people, and I've said this before on the channel, a lot of people talk about like finding happiness in life, but you also need to find happiness with your life. Like you have to be satisfied with the things you're doing, not just how you feel in the moment, right? So I think that's something a lot of people can overlook, but is so absolutely crucial to, you know, like having a complete life, making sure like even if something is hard and does have sacrifices and costs, like that it's important for you, that it's satisfying. You said you've been at this for a number of years. Yeah, many years now. I mean, like, and like, again, things like my actual technical knowledge and stuff, like that has like very clearly grown, right? You know, like, what am I gonna say? Like, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, my knowledge of the workings of this industry and this business were way, way less. Like I had a lot of knowledge about like clothes and fashion and patterns, but I didn't have a lot of knowledge about manufacturing. And so like those kind of things have like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like clearly, like visibly improved. Like those have, you can see the difference in my knowledge then versus now. So like there's been a lot of like improvements. with fashion, target audience is a large part. It is absolutely crucial. And I really, really struggle with connecting to my target audience. I have no idea how to do that. And that's marketing is one of the things I've been spending a lot of time on. That's one of the things I spent a lot of time studying and learning and doing courses and trying to get, you know, help from other people. And I cannot fucking connect to a fashion audience at all. Like, and not the fashion audience that I need, period. I have had zero luck with that. How do you see yourself in terms of being able to have focus and get things done compared to the you of 3 or 4 years ago? So this is a question that has kind of two parts to it, because this depends on whether I have a reliable access to ADHD medication versus which type of ADHD medication. So in general, my ability is much higher. My ability with any sort of medication is higher again, and then my ability with Dexedrine, a regular supply of Dexedrine, is like through the roof, way better. I was getting like insane amounts of things done when I was living in Toronto, but that's not reliable right now either, so that's kind of dragging things down, and then I have to really be careful not to get down on myself. Like this week I was saying to my friend, I'm like, oh, I feel like it's a productive week, and then my brain kicks in and goes, this isn't productive at all. Like, you know what a productive week looks like, and it's not this. And then I just have to like remind myself consciously and be like, let's calm down there a little bit. This is a productive week compared to like the last 6 months. So like, yes, let's just focus on the situation we have instead of some mythological ideal situation that we don't have access to right now. And just kind of remembering to like not hold myself to a standard that I don't have access to right now. But all things considered, improvements. Yeah, finding happiness is nice. Creating happiness is a better investment. I like that. That's a really great way of phrasing that. Who's your target audience and what can you offer them that's not already offered? So my target audience is people who want to, like basically office wear. So people who want to dress in that kind of like semi-formal, relatively like clean, crisp, classic kind of outfits. So like blouses, pencil skirts, dresses, things that you would wear that would fit in like an office or a semi-formal environment, or like a nice night out, or, you know, a nice lunch or a nice dinner or things like that. So that kind of target audience. And what can you offer them that is not already offered? That's where it gets really tricky, because it's like in fashion, you kind of end up being like, there's a lot of gimmicky stuff you can do. There's like a lot of gimmicky stuff brands do. The one thing that I did want to lean into was the current technology of 3D pattern making and 3D design and 3D kind of like try on testing things. You can do some really cool stuff with that, so that people can have like a digital copy of the dress they buy, or they can have like a digital try on if they're buying online, or those kind of things can be a little bit more interesting and modern. And maybe, again, it kind of like toes into that. Is it gimmicky? Is it just for a gimmick, or is it actually interesting? The other thing that you basically have to do nowadays if you're an indie designer is you have to be ecological, you have to be human rights, you have to have like healthy fabric choices, like you have to have like natural fabric, like you have to have all this stuff that like just builds cost. But like if you don't have all those things, your brand can't compete with the ones that do, and everyone's prices just go skyrocketing, except for the ones that aren't doing any of that and who have really, really super cheap stuff. And it's like this weird like dichotomy of like, you start losing brands in the middle where you can't have, because the people who would buy something in the middle will choose the one that's slightly more expensive if it has all this stuff. But then you lose a whole bunch of your audience because people can't afford it. So it's like this weird balancing act of trying to like figure out what points are important for your brand and what aren't, and how much they cost versus what your target audience wants and what they can afford and what they want to spend money on. If all you end up with at the end of the day is struggles, you really either learn how to overcome them, or you admit that perhaps the role might not be the right role and you refocus your efforts onto the role you'd be better suited for. Yeah, and like I said before, I'm willing to like adapt and pivot if something that I am more satisfied with comes along. That hasn't happened. So like I said before, I'd be regretful if I didn't keep pursuing this at the moment. So that's where I'm at. I don't feel like I've exhausted all my options or my energy for it. So until then. Yeah, a bit of altering the end goal of the dream. And that's the thing, like the dream is not like anything specific either. It's like I would like to run a business that puts out something beautiful into the world. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I would like to do that with fashion. Right? Like the specifics aren't necessarily what it's about, but like I would like to do something some kind of creative. Otherwise I would have just been a lawyer. Like, do you know what I mean? Or that kind of thing. And I'd like to be in business. I'd like to work for myself. So otherwise I would just be working for someone else, right? So otherwise I would have gone into working for a large fashion company. Yeah, focus on the steps and not the path ahead. As long as the steps are forward, you're doing well. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been trying to do these last couple years. It's like, okay, well, what's the next step? What's the next step? Just keep doing the steps. Just keep building, you know, the skills and building the resources and building the knowledge, and yeah, kind of one step at a time. Yeah, the emotional parts of trying to solve the problem and overcome the obstacles always end up being the real challenge, don't they? Yes, they do. Semi-chic or semi-formal? I would say kind of like classic and again, like office wear is a good descriptor of it, but things like kind of contemporary, high-end women's wear, those kind of labels. Yeah, if you're going for that avenue, you need it to be expensive. And I mean, I would like it to be expensive. Like that would be the goal, right? Luxury. It's just, you rapidly hit a point where you're paying for things that the market can't afford. Especially if you're not a known name. That hasn't happened yet. Maybe running the business is not the next step in the journey. Of course, you don't know if it is or it isn't until you do what you're currently in the process of doing, right? You just gotta keep trying. Maybe the business running part comes later. But then what comes now, right? Like, what's the other option? Swimwear would also do well. Yeah, I just, actually, that's so funny because the website I was talking about earlier, it's a competitor to Redbubble, and it puts prints on clothing. One of the things they offer is a bikini, and I'm like, oh, I could put a print on a bikini. Like just a little triangle bikini. Like you can't fuck up that design. Obviously there's better quality ones and worse quality ones. I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle because the website in general is not cheap. But I'm like, oh, that'd be a great thing to put out. Just putting a print on a bikini. Because like I said, a lot of the times those websites, the things they sell, the cut and the design of the item is not very good. But on a bikini, like, you can't really fuck that up. I mean, you can, but for the most part, just I could put a print on it and not feel like I was compromising my ideals. So, good call. Oh, it's good to try because in the pursuit of trying, you learn what really does have to come next, right? That's why you said people forget about the journey and get stuck in thinking of the end goal. Yeah, but energy and ability. Yeah, I can't see it not taking you somewhere closer to the goal. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that wandering feel where you're like, well, I'm going in the right direction mostly. You can put them on some bikinis. You've seen bikinis so small that if the angle is off, they disappear. This one seemed a little more average and regular. We should get more food. Also, based on your family, they could also sell your swimwear and don't rule out cool designs for menswear. Yeah, because frankly, men get fucked over when it comes to fashion. I agree. Menswear is one. I mean, I would like to be in everything. I would love to be in menswear. I would love to be in formal wear. I would love to be in children's wear. I would love to be in home goods, which is one of the reasons I'm excited for. Oh, I can't remember the stupid name of it. I'll look it up again. Contrado is the name of the website. One of the reasons I want to be on Contrado is because it has a bunch of housewares. It has like, and so does Redbubble. To be fair, Redbubble has a bunch of housewares, things like trays and dishcloths and towels and like house goods, right? So house goods is one of the things I would love to be in. And like wallpaper is on Contrado and things like that, which is great because I feel like wallpaper can be super cool with like paintings. But menswear is one of the things I would love to get into, but it is one of those things that is tricky and actually requires quite a bit of its own knowledge, especially if you want to do the kind of menswear I would want to do, which is, again, semi-formal. And in menswear, semi-formal is accurate because it would be literal suits. So again, office wear, but for menswear, that's its own particular field. So, because even if you're just making like casual menswear, like pants and sweaters and things like that, the pants still have to fit nicely, and the cut of men's pants is a whole field I am not knowledgeable about. So until I have someone who either I can hire who knows how to fit men's pants and design those versus having knitwear, then designing men's sweaters and t-shirts and like more casual wear. But when you're just looking at designing suits, like shirts, jackets, and pants, that is a field that actually requires a lot of knowledge that I have not specialized in, and therefore would not feel comfortable going into until I had more knowledge on that area, or could hire someone who had that knowledge, because that is not an area you want to go into lightly. And if I just wanted to do like t-shirts or something, I'd just be on Redbubble. Yeah, look into local assets, a place that is a tourist hotspot. Shorts and swimwear. Swimwear and shorts only come in generic sizes, but it's a start. Yeah, to grow from and build sales. Yeah, see, that's one of the things that, like, you're not wrong. But for me, I feel like would be a distraction from the target audience I'm trying to build, and like the market I'm trying to build, the audience, the connections that I'm trying to build. So it's like, yes, you can pivot if you have an audience in men's beachwear. You could obviously pivot into anything, but for me, it would feel like a distraction. It would feel like adding one more thing to my plate when I already have 500 things. Yeah, start to grow from and build sales. Yeah, let's not add more then. So I have thought about all this. I absolutely want to do menswear in the future. I would love to do beachwear in the future. I would love to do swimsuits and casual wear and all of these sorts of things. These are the kind, people are always like, you need to narrow things down and like really focus and prioritize. I'm like, bitch, you have no idea how many ideas I'm not doing right now. When was the last time your efforts produced something you were happy with? So that depends on what specific area you're talking about. For instance, I frequently design things I'm happy with. I frequently paint things I'm happy with. I frequently do work for my job that I'm happy with. I get very frustrated with my efforts in marketing, at least fashion marketing. I'm better at some different niches, but fashion marketing I get very frustrated in. And making progress business-wise. Like I said, feeling confident enough to actually commit to buying fabric, feeling confident enough to actually commit to signing a contract with a manufacturer, feeling confident enough to actually like make any of those choices, like hire someone, or any of those choices that require some sort of commitment or financial commitment. Ask what made you happy and you slipped in what frustrates you in the answer. Well, All right, to be fair though, I feel like the nature of your question, when was the last time you produced something you were happy with, kind of in its nature is a question that's kind of talking about like how many times have something made you not happy. I feel like that's embedded into the nature of the question. But also, 100% I agree with your point, which is, yeah, exactly that, which is the kind of, where's your brain at kind of energy. Yeah, no, I see your point. I just can't help but argue anything regardless. So, skill arguing. Yeah, the planner, for instance, you thought was a good idea. Oh, excellent. I'm going to be putting out more of those this year for next year. Hopefully in time for Black Friday, but at least in time for the end of the year. Hopefully, I say that every year and then I get them out in January. But I also have an undated one that's published, and I want to publish another undated one, and I want to publish a 2024 one because I need the 2024 one for myself. So but last year I didn't get my 2024 one. I never got my own one done until January. But this year, and I always say, this year I'm going to get it out before January. I think I've done it once. Where I got the current year planner out before the end of the year. But I always have to get them out eventually because I need them for myself. But then no one wants to buy it because it's like fucking June. But yeah, more planners are coming. So anyone you know who uses planners, who likes notebooks and stationery, send them to my websites, to the Instagram or to the TikTok or whatever, because yeah, more planners are coming. If you took those skills towards a GM planner, would have been a stronger sell. Or a decent crossover. If you'd be interested in putting together like a GM planner or something like that, I'd be interested in like putting that together with you. All right, you need to run, but it was nice to drop in and listen to where things are, where they're going. Thank you for dropping in, and thank you for all your like discussion and advice and help. Like these conversations are very helpful. And even if I sound like I'm frustrated or like not listening, I am listening, and I do appreciate you guys. And thank you for spending the time to like listen to my rants and frustrations and try to help, because I really, really do appreciate that. Hope you have a nice rest of your day and find some peace. I hope you do. I hope you have an excellent day, and that you have good energy and peace yourself. All right, I am going to try to find someone to raid, because yeah, time for me to go to bed. I have my melatonin chamomile tea. An art planner. I have been wanting to put out kind of more of a something more focused towards art. I don't think I'd really like clarified what that was in my head yet. So I like this idea, like kind of a planner with spaces to do art, to write, an Inktober kind of specific planner. Oh, an Inktober planner would actually be pretty smart. That's a really good idea. I might steal that. That's a really great idea. And I like this because it would be the kind of thing I would have time to do before next October. Let me write that down before I forget about it forever. Because that would be a great goal, because it wouldn't be something I'd have to work on right now because I have my next couple months of things to work on planned, but it'd be the kind of thing I could work on next summer, and it wouldn't even be that difficult to do because those kind of things are mostly just blank space. And I typically do Inktober. This is the first year I haven't done Inktober in a while. So I have been in that community. I have some sort of basis for putting out a planner. All right, it's in a notebook on a to-do list somewhere. And all those to-do lists get checked semi-regularly. Cheers, thank you. Yeah, borders and text, exactly, right? Exactly, like if you do like kind of here's these prompts, but if you have your own prompts, just write those in, kind of space like that. Like, and I think the official Inktober prompts come out pretty early too. But also there's a million prompt lists that I can just pick whichever one or come up with my own one. Hey, you're an idea guy. They never end. Yeah, you're good with ideas. Do a sticker sheet of prompts. See, stickers are one of the things I've actually been trying to get into, but I haven't found a good sticker manufacturer because I'm a huge fan of print on demand, drop shipping, like where you don't need to keep inventory. And so I'm very much in the market for a drop shipping print on demand sticker company because Redbubble does stickers and they're pretty good stickers, but they're limited in the like sizing, the amount of stickers you can cut on a sheet and things like that. And I would really like to do custom planner stickers because I love the look of planner stickers. Like I have some and I don't ever use them because I use a print planner, but I love planner stickers and I love all of that stuff. I just do not want anything that requires me to have inventory and do shipping because if I have to ship things out to people, no one will ever get their products. It will only be bad reviews. People will hate me and I would hate the business. So it has to be drop shipping. I cannot ship anything. And I haven't found a company. You know a guy. Let me know all about it because I would love to do more stickers. He's out of New York and he has his own print machine, so he prints on demand. Mm-hmm. Oh, Queen Panda's streaming. We might go raid Queen Panda. We love Queen Panda. She's always so nice and so great. And she does planners. If your design work is good, you can often submit your designs to sticker companies and they can also sell it for you. This is something I have considered and have even tried to look up online how to like what the first step in that would be. And I have gotten nowhere in that. To be fair, it hasn't been something I've like actively like really spent a lot of time researching, but yes, that is something I would love to do and have no idea how to get started on. So if you have any advice or information, or if you know someone who does that, like hook me up because I would love to not have to deal with any of the part of that except for like, here's some sticker designs. Fucking give me some money eventually, maybe. Like that would be fucking phenomenal. I've also tried to look into like things like wholesale for the planners, things like wholesale for like notebooks, stickers, other things like that. And I've like really struggled on things that aren't just send a million emails and go into stores in person. And those are the things I don't want to be doing. Like, I don't mind sending a couple emails and like, you know, doing some in-person things. But like, if my job becomes being a wholesale rep, I don't want to be a wholesale rep. That is not the job I want. So if you know anyone who knows more about that world, I would love to be able to submit designs to companies. That is something I've actively tried to briefly get into and kind of went, I don't know what I'm doing, and stopped paying attention to it. That was earlier this year. They have a designer application, stickerapp.com. Thank you. I will take a look at them. That sounds great. Because like I would love to be able to like put planners into like stores like Michael's or stores like Chapters or things like that. And it's like, to be quite frank, a lot of the stuff that they sell is like of worse design. Like maybe like quality wise, like print quality and stuff, it's you know, equal, like it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not cheap. But like a lot of the stuff that most of these stores sell is like so generic and so bland and so boring, and I just feel like the market is so ready for something that's more interesting, like the kind of stuff people print for themselves. And it's like I have no idea how to get in there, and all the advice is very much, it's all the stuff I don't want to do, with absolutely no guarantee of anyone ever even getting back to you, let alone actually getting back to you in the way you want. And it's just like, oh, I don't have 6 months to spend emailing every day. Like, pfft. But yeah, so any smaller companies that might be interested would be of very much interest. Sticker app. Sticker shop. Latest designers. Okay, I see, I see. I like it. I'm gonna look into that more later. Where did I get here? Who did we pull up? Oh, I was looking for people. Oh, I think we're definitely rating Queen Panda. I don't think we rated Panda in a long while. Yeah, thank you. Feel free to DM on Discord. Discord's one of those things I have to be very rationed with my time on, because it's like a black hole, right? And so I'm very careful. It's like Instagram. I have to be careful not to go on it too much, otherwise I get stuck on it. And I'm, as a person who has like a lot of life hacks for dealing with my own ADHD, I have to be very careful. And Discord is one of those things that gets shafted, because I'm like, nope, not even touching that. Until I have to. And then I'm like, fuck, I run a Discord. I guess I better fucking check it. And then I like the Discord. I love all the stuff you guys post. So I like checking it. I just get anxious about it. Yeah, if you're busy, you may not respond right away. Don't ever worry about that, because my might not respond right away might be 3 months. So yeah, I guarantee you, you're better than I am. Yeah, you're better with DMs than servers. So I'm better with servers than DMs, but I only check like 3 servers regularly. So it kind of goes both ways. I'm bad with everything. And I recently discovered that it's because it's emotional labor. I didn't know this until I read an article about, I may have talked about this on this channel before, but so I'll go briefly. But basically I read an article about how, like, why are you struggling with answering customer service emails, which is something I don't have to deal with a lot, but sometimes I do with my business. And it's like, why do you hate opening those emails and answering them? It's like, well, technically it's emotional labor. I'm like, oh God, all emails are emotional labor. That's why I fucking hate dealing with emails, text messages, Discord messages, any sort of private message. And I just don't open them until I'm ready. And it's like, oh, now that I know what the problem is, I can rationally adjust for that and make sure I'm in the right headspace and actively allocate enough of that emotional energy so that I don't have to put it off for 6 months, and I can do it on a stable system. And so I love it when I learn things like that, and it's like, oh, now that I know, this isn't some random thing I sometimes do and sometimes don't. It's like, I know why now, so I can make it more consistent. Yeah, talk in the Discord about stuff, and honestly, talk to me in the Twitch chat about stuff, because the Twitch chat is the one thing I have to see in the moment. So even if you're like, hey, I sent you a message on Discord, then I'll be like, oh, fuck, I guess I actually have to fucking check. Alright. Okay, there are numbers on the end of this name now. Queen Panda, no, there's letters. Queen Panda LLC. Yeah, live streaming is nice that way. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I fucking love live streaming. Like, I wasn't sure if I try a lot of things and I stick with what works. Live streaming is one of the things I can't believe works so well, but it really works for me because it's like, I just have to be there in person. I have to check the messages. I have to engage with the community because that's the whole point. But also because I do co-working, when I'm busy, I can just say I'll check the chat on the break and it's fine. So it's like this great little like nice balance for me, and I just couldn't believe how well live streaming was the right solution for me to be on the internet for marketing, building a following purposes. Because yeah, that's all the things I like and none of the things I don't. Because if I'm streaming, I've already committed to being emotionally engaged, right? Like I started the stream, so it's on my own time schedule. Whereas like things like emails and messages, it's like they come in on someone else's time scale, and then I have to decide when to look at them and answer. And so it's that kind of thing. Whereas on a stream, it's like, no, I've already like agreed that I'm in a public zone right now. I'm open for people to talk to me. So it's like, yes, this works. Keep doing this. But thanks everyone for showing up. I hope you enjoyed. I think we're going to switch to the raid pretty quick here. So bye. It was great discussions, and we'll see you guys all next time.